Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So this will be the last part of male reproductive system. We have already completed part 1 and part 2. If you have not watched it yet, then please go check it out. Then come to the part 3. Then only you can understand completely. So we have already studied about the different parts of the male reproductive system that are scrotum, testes, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, the urethra and the penis. And in today's class, we will study about the other accessory organs or glands of the male reproductive system. Basically, there are three accessory glands that are seminal vesicle, prostate gland and Copper's gland. So, the seminal vesicle is a paired structure, and if we will talk about its location, it is present just at the base of urinary bladder. Fine. So, the prostate gland, it is a single organ or single gland. Larger gland, this yellow color is the prostate gland, it is a large gland and single. And if we will talk about the Copper's gland, the third gland, it is somewhat present here in the membranous urethra, in this location, Copper's gland. So in today's class, we will discuss about these three glands. So first, the seminal vesicle. It is a paired structure present at the base of the urinary bladder. Fine, I have already told about it. And what does it secrete? So it secretes a fluid known as seminal fluid, which is alkaline in nature. If we will talk about the pH will be 7.4, that is slightly alkaline. So the seminal fluid is slightly alkaline in nature. So what does it contain actually? It contains the fructose, prostaglandin hormone and some clotting proteins. Fructose. It serves as the source of energy of the spermatozoa. It gives energy to the spermatozoa or sperm. And there is another peculiar factor for this presence of fructose. So basically it helps in the forensic lab test or rape test. We can specifically say rape for the test of the rape. This fructose helps very much. So if the fructose is present in the female's genital tract, then we can confirm that there was some sexual intercourse or there was rape. So why this actually happens? Because this fructose is very peculiar to the seminal fluid only. It is only present in the seminal fluid. That is why its presence in the female's genital tract confirms about the sexual intercourse. So then the prostaglandin, it is a kind of hormone, and what does it do actually? It stimulates the uterine contraction that helps the sperm to move towards the female's oviduct. So what does it actually does? When the sperm enters into the female's genital tract, it moves upward, somewhat it moves upward, and then it enters into the uterus, and then it goes to the fallopian tube or female's oviduct, you can say. So it need to cross the uterus. That is why the uterine muscles contract to move the sperms upward or towards the female's oviduct. That is why this prostaglandins helps in the contraction of the uterine muscles. And then the clotting proteins. These clotting proteins are somewhat different from the blood clotting proteins. So they actually helps the semen to coagulate after ejaculation. Ejaculation means after the semen come out from the male's body, it helps to coagulate it. So they coagulate by the help of these clotting proteins. We have already said about that the seminal fluid is alkaline in nature. So why it is alkaline? Because it helps to neutralize the acidity of the male urethra. The male's urethra is acidic due to the presence of urine. So it neutralizes the acidity of the male urethra as well as the female's reproductive tract. So what does the seminal fluid does? It actually neutralizes the acidity of the male urethra and the female's reproductive tract. Another fact, the seminal vesicle does not store sperms. It does not store sperms. Fine. Next, the prostate gland. Second gland is prostate gland. It is a single and large gland. I have already showed it in the picture. So what does it secrete? It produces a milky secretion that is slightly acidic in nature. What about the pH? That is 6.5. What about the pH of the seminal fluid? That was 7.3 or 7.4. So in case of prostate gland, the secretion is slightly acidic, that is 6.5. And the prostate gland secretion forms about 25% of the total semen volume. And this secretion contains citric acid, acid phosphatase, pepsinogen, amylase and prostaglandin. These three are enzymes. These acid phosphatase, pepsinogen and amylase are enzymes, and it also secretes citric acid and prostaglandin hormones. So citric acid are kind of sperm nutrients. They serve as sperm nutrients, or they give nutrition to the sperms. And due to the presence of this citric acid, the prostate gland secretion is slightly acidic. So in a nutshell, we can say that the secretion of the prostate gland nourishes and activates the spermatozoa to swim. Spermatozoa, or the sperm, if we will talk about the structure, it has a tail, and this tail helps in swimming, or the movement or the locomotion form of the sperm, we can say that swimming. The sperm locomote by swimming. So for swimming, it should be needed to be activated, and this activation is provided by the prostate gland secretion. Then the third one, that is Cowper's gland. It is also known as bulbourethral gland. Fine, a new name. Cowper's gland is also known as bulbourethral gland, and it is a paired structure present on either side of the membranous urethra. I have already showed it on the structure that it is present on either side of the membranous urethra, and it is paired in structure. What does it secrete? It secretes a alkaline fluid. Fine, it secretes alkaline fluid. And what is its function? It is also neutralizes the acids from urine and urethra. So the acids that come from the urine, it neutralizes them, and the urethra itself. And it also secretes mucus that lubricates the penis and the lining of the urethra. That is why less sperm is damaged during ejaculation. So in ejaculation, there is sperms are released. So there are some chance of damage due to friction. So to minimize this damage, what does the male reproductive system does? This Cowper's gland secretes some kind of lubrication in the form of mucus that actually minimizes this damage or minimizes friction. That is why this damage is minimized, or we can say that the less sperm is damaged during ejaculation due to the secretion or due to the lubrication of the Cowper's gland. Next, what is semen? We have already come across this word semen. So what does its actually composition? What is its composition? How it forms? So if we will talk about the composition of semen, it is basically composed by the secretions from seminal vesicle, the prostate gland, Cowper's gland, and the sperms from testis. So all these secretions are known as semen. First, the sperm was secreted from testis, then there were secretions from seminal vesicle, then prostate gland, and then Cowper's gland. All these secretions or all these fluids is known as semen. Fine. So in a single ejaculation, around 3 to 4 ml of semen is produced, and this 3 to 4 ml of semen contains about 200 to 300 million of sperms. Fine. In one go or in one ejaculation, about 3 to 4 ml of semen is produced, which almost contains 200 to 300 million of sperms. And what about its nature? The semen is slightly alkaline. Its pH is around 7.35 to 7.50. Fine. Then we have already completed the structure. So what is the function of the male reproductive system? It's very basic. It serves for spermatogenesis, the process of formation of sperm, or that is the male gamete. Where does actually spermatogenesis occurs? Do comment. Where does spermatogenesis occurs? And then the second one is the secretion of testosterone by the Leydig cells. Okay. So testosterone is the, what is testosterone? Also do comment. What is testosterone? The third one, the penis transfers the sperms into the female's body during ejaculation. So I have already told that ejaculation is the release of semen from the male's body, the process of release. So where does this ejaculation is actually done? In case of sexual intercourse, the male ejaculates inside the female's body, and this process is known as insemination. It is a very important term. This process is known as insemination. Or in simple words, a simple term, we can say that the penis transforms the sperms into the female's body or into the female's vagina during ejaculation, and this process is known as insemination. So what we have already studied, that scrotum, it is a pouch like structure, pigmented skin, and it gives the extra abdominal structure to the penis. It has gubernaculum for the attachment of the sperm to the testis, and it has an inguinal canal through which the testis was descended from the abdominal cavity to the scrotum or scrotal pouch. And what about the peculiar function of the scrotum? It provides 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius less temperature than the normal body temperature. Fine. Then we have studied about what? See, here we can revise well. So first one was the scrotum. Then testis. Testis is the male gonad. It produces testosterone. If we will talk about the outer covering, it has tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea, and tunica vasculosa, and inside it testicular lobes were present where seminiferous tubules were present, and those seminiferous tubules were connected to form a network like structure known as rete testis, and after rete testis vasa efferentia was formed, and from the vasa efferentia epididymis was formed. So if we will talk about the TS of the testis, or transverse section of the testis, we can see some lobes, around 250 lobes were there. So inside a lobe we will found the spermatogoniums and some conical cells, that are the Sertoli cells or sustentacular cells or Nerd cells. These cells actually nourishes the sperm, and they also secrete a hormone, that is inhibin hormone. Fine. And then the epididymis. Epididymis has 3 parts, that is caput epididymis, corpus epididymis, and the cauda epididymis. The last cauda epididymis runs upward to form the vas deferens that helps to conduct the sperm from the testis, and this vas deferens, after connecting with the duct of the seminal vesicle, it forms ejaculatory duct. So ejaculatory duct conducts both the sperm and the secretion from the seminal vesicle. And then comes the urethra that actually projects from the urinary bladder. Urethra also has 3 parts, that are, first one is the prostatic urethra, that is around the prostate gland, then the membranous urethra that is present in between the prostatic urethra and penile urethra, and the last one is penile urethra that is present beside the penis. And then comes the last part, that is penis. It is the male copulatory organ or external genitalia of the male. It conducts the sperm, it helps in insemination, it helps in coitus, or it helps in sexual intercourse, and it has 3 erectile mass of tissues, that are paired corpora cavernosa and a single structure corpus spongiosum. And there are some other accessory glands known as seminal vesicle, and then the prostate gland, and then the Copper's gland. And all these secretions along with the sperm is known as semen, and this semen is slightly alkaline in nature. If we will talk about the amount of the semen, in one ejaculation 3 to 4 ml of semen is produced, from which 200 to 300 sperms are present. Okay, fine. So what are its function? Male reproductive system, firstly it helps in spermatogenesis, and then it secretes testosterone from the Leydig cells, and lastly it helps in insemination. So this is it for today's class. Hope you all have understood this well. Do comment if you have any doubt, or comment the answers. Don't comment your doubts here, comment the answer that I have asked in the video. Fine. Thank you everyone for your patience.